Guest joining us, an international fitness model, guru, and trainer, Miss Deanna K. Fit of DeannaKFit.com, the inventor of Deanna K. Guru Fit Challenge. Also will be joining us tonight. We'll be also hitting the hard-hitting questions of hot topics. Don't forget, you can check us out each and every Tuesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and every Sunday for Sunday service in conversation with Hollywood actors, directors, producers in conversation. Check, 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 1, 2. There she is, ladies and gentlemen, in tonight inside the building. She is the lovely, the beautiful, the talented, the sexy, the one and only. If Jennifer Lopez and Kim Kardashian's booty were to come together, they would make Deanna K's booty come out live. So tonight, we're joining us in the building, ladies and gentlemen. She is the one and the only, the gentleman, ladies, the one you love, the one you follow, the one you want to get all the tips from on how to get that beautiful body in shape for the summer. She is AMT Management's AMT Model's own. The lovely, the sexy, the beautiful, the talented.
Wow.
So incredible. Miss Deanna K of DeannaKFit.com. Welcome to Hot Topics Celeb TV.
Thank you so much. That was the most amazing intro I've ever had.
You're welcome, sweetheart. You're welcome. So how are you? How are you holding up in this I mean, obviously we've talked, but obviously how have you been holding up with the crazy pandemic and everything that's been taking place in the world?
Honestly, I feel like this pandemic has been a blessing in disguise. As hard as it's also been so amazing to just experience life at such a slower pace and really look around and observe and just see, what has value to you and what really means something to you. And it's not just life in the fast lane. You actually have to slow down sometimes and really appreciate all that you have around you, whether it's your environment, your friends, your people, whatever. It's been a blessing, and don't get me wrong, it's been hard, and I understand a lot of people have gone through a lot of things that have been difficult, and I respect everyone that has been through that, but I feel like it's also been so amazing because we've been able to get through it and go through it, and it's been a collective thing. It's like we're all going through the same thing together, and we're all growing, we're all getting through it, and hopefully we'll all get out of it soon.
Well, before we get started, I want you to actually, since I'm loving that you're showing the love, you're wearing a very special jersey, so I want you to show the people.
This is my DTeflon jersey.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, from the Teflon Mafia line, the Integral. This is the only one out there, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're looking to get your hands on a little item like this, make sure you hit up the DMs, whatnot, on Teflon Mafia, and we'll get an order out to you. So tonight, before we get started, I want you to let the people who are just new to the world of knowing you, and they're going to get to know you tonight, I want you to first tell them who you are, where you're from, and then we'll go from there.
Wow. Okay, quite the intro. So obviously my name is Deanna K. I'm originally from Iran, a little city up north. I'm Kurdish, so people like the Kurdish region are different from people of Iran. And regardless, we ended up moving here into Canada, and just growing up, I've been through so many different jobs and tried different things, but I always gravitated back towards food.
Okay.
I am getting into the industry because a passion turned into a profession, really.
So for you, I know that you started off, working in, what was was the fitness your first passion, or what was the first thing that you wanted to do?
In the beginning, when I first got out of high school, it was law, and I wanted to pursue the whole criminology and that whole aspect. I was so intrigued by serial killers and things like
What is
that.
women's obsession with serial killers? But go on.
It's now we just have podcasts. We have so many different ways of finding more about it. But back then it was wanting to get into criminology and really studying and understanding crime and stuff like that. But eventually I kind of got tired of it, and I was like, maybe I should try something else, and an opportunity to become a flight attendant came up to do this schooling. So I was like, I'll just try it out, see how it goes. I was honestly just getting sick of the law and the politic aspect of the criminology. So Yeah, I switched gears and then I ended up going into the school for a flight attendant. And after I was done, I was trying to get a job. And it was so hard to get a job here because so many people required experience. And obviously, being somebody that was just new into it, it was hard to get into. So I ended up moving into the Middle East. And I lived in northern Iraq. It's, again, a Kurdish region. And stayed there. Well, I went initially to go visit, and then I ended up staying there for about a year and got a job there as a flight attendant. So it kind of worked out. I was there for the year, and then it was amazing. I got to experience the city, the people. I met so many amazing friends and had such amazing memories. And it was probably one of the best times of my life. And eventually, when the whole ISIS thing happened, it was like you have to rush back. You have to come home. Like, things are not safe there. So me and along everyone else, I feel like we all just left the country and came here. And I started the job as a flight attendant here because I already had like a year experience and it was easy to get into. And up until March, I was doing that.
Well, I mean, I know this is a question that's going to be a hot topic. I mean, I've known friends obviously that are in the airline industry, and especially, you know, when you are from the Middle Eastern countries. Since 9/11, obviously, you know, the world has somewhat become very judgmental and very what's the word, racist in the aspect of how they treat people, how they are misinformed of people's backgrounds based on what they look like. And for you, like, obviously working in the airline industry, did you ever yourself, being from Iran, being from Middle Eastern descent, ever experience any bit of racism towards you in the industry or just in general?
I feel like it was a lot of, I would say like a lot of sexist there more than racism. Especially when I was working in the Middle East, it was like how degraded you would feel as a woman was nothing compared to how you feel. Well, here, like obviously it happens, but to the extent of like how much it happened there, it's like night and day. I, for one, had like a very eye-opening experience being there and just felt like it was.
Explain how. What was eye-opening?
Just the lack of respect for women, the lack of giving them fair rights or even looking at them fairly or treating them fairly. It was like, you're not even a woman, you're just a piece of meat. Sometimes it was just very disrespectful, very, don't get me wrong, it wasn't everyone, obviously it wasn't everyone, but a majority of them were quite, not great.
So how do you, I mean, how did you deal with being a woman in those situations? I mean, like, and especially working in the industry, did you find it difficult for you to do your job, or was it like something that you know, being over there prepared you to dealing with people and dealing with probably the rudest and crudest type of people in that aspect for you? Like what was your experience? Like how did you find that journey for you?
I feel like it definitely taught me to stand up more for myself and, you know, not let things slide, whether it's a young guy or an old guy or whatever, anyone. You really go through experiences that really change you as a person and make you grow. And for me, it was that experience in itself was so eye-opening because I went literally across the world and left everything behind and just started a whole new life. And for me, that was the most, I don't know, come out of my comfort zone thing I've ever done. I had never done anything like that. But being able to experience that and being able to do that, it made me grow as a person so much and made me go from a little girl that was, you know, not even willing to do something like that to wanting to experience a whole new world and a whole new life and just start fresh. That's what I was going to do. And honestly, I might have even stayed. If the whole ISIS thing didn't happen, I feel like I could have stayed. I feel like the opportunities there and the money that was there really could have grown and could have become something big. Because, like, you know, the fitness industry here is so big now that you're you don't really have a fair chance compared to somewhere there where it's so new and so fresh. You have a chance and an opportunity to grow so much. But yeah.
Your bestie just jumped into the room here.
So hard for me to read. Hi.
What's up, Gulu? Miss Corona. So for you, like, I mean, obviously working in that environment and having to, you know, travel the world and meet different people and meet different cultures and stuff like that. Do you feel that there could be any change in retrospect to how the culture views women in the sense of going forward, or you think it's always going to be that way?
I feel like with any culture and any country, like I feel like nowadays the younger generation is so much more aware. You know, they're more aware of their surroundings, they're more aware of what's happening in the world. Technology, I feel like, has connected all of us so much that eventually growing up and getting older and having all this information, you definitely make different decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with the way the world is changing and the way things are getting accepted more now, I feel like it could eventually get way better, of course. Whether it's in the Middle East, whether it's here, whether it's in America, like there's so much corruption, but I feel like as there are more, you know, generations growing and, you know, more things happening in the world that are for the better, there's definitely possibility that things could get better, and hopefully they will.
So for you, like, obviously, like, after, you know, going through that experience and then working in the travel industry, and then, of course, you know, moving forward to 2020, 2019,
Yeah.
everything changed due to the coronavirus. You know, how was that for you, one, when you first realized, 'cause I mean, I know you made headline news of being in the news and getting caught on physical camera and, you know, in the height of everyone trying to figure out what the fuck this thing is.
Oh yeah.
What was that experience like for you, and like how was that working into those conditions when you first realized that we're dealing with a pandemic?
The story behind Corona, like I wish I could. I mean,
what was the story behind that photo to begin
with? Basically what had happened was this was the beginning of Corona, like coming into Canada. I think there was 1 or 2 cases, and I was on a pairing with one of my closest friends now, her and I, we were talking about how it was getting crazy and it was getting scary and it was just blowing up, and we were just going from city to city. So we went down to Mexico, and then we came back to Toronto, and as we came into Toronto, we're like, we have to make sure we wear a mask. It wasn't even like the proper mask. It was just the white one, like
the ugliest one ever.
Yeah, we had it in the plane. We had a couple of our coworkers wear it, and we decided to go through the airport with these masks. And obviously, that's not part of our uniform, but we had to make sure we felt safe. So what we did was we put our mask on and we walked